As a general dentist, I typically do an array of different procedures. So it can include anything from crowns, root canals, oral surgery, basic fillings. Every day looks a little bit different. My name is Wang. I'm 31 years old. I make $157,000 a year, and I live in San Diego, California. I was born in China. My parents both immigrated when I was a baby, and I was left in the care of my grandparents. When my parents first moved out of student housing into a rented home, our landlord at the time, he was a dentist. He's also a first-generation immigrant from China. And I remember one time he took me just to run errands and he was grocery shopping. He would just kind of roll on by with his cart, and anything that looked interesting to him, he would just plop into the cart without checking the price tag. And to me, that was kind of the height of luxury. I grew up walking to school every morning. It was about a mile and some change one way, and I remember just dreading that walk in the wintertime when there was ice or sleet. A lot of my classmates were getting their learner's permits, driver license, and many of them were gifted brand new cars. And I would just be kind of trudging my way to school. I think one day I fell again, and I said, I don't care what it takes. One day, I'm going to be in that car, somewhere warm. I attended University of Maryland on a full academic scholarship. It didn't cover room, board, or books. So that first semester, my parents did help me pay for that expense. And I took it upon myself to find additional scholarships and to work part-time to help pay for that portion. So a Navy recruiter reached out to me. He was also a Navy dentist at the time, and he wanted to share his wealth of experience and see if anyone was interested in joining the Navy. I was very interested. I feel like there was a wealth of opportunities that the Navy could offer me that I would not be able to accomplish myself. The Navy actually pays me a salary, and I'm free to spend that salary on what I want. Of course, the bulk of it went towards tuition. The way the military works is every 2 years and every promotion, your salary jumps a little bit. A portion of that is allocated for housing and food, and that is not taxable. So if you are paying mortgage or rent at a certain price, the allowance can sometimes exceed that, and you're allowed to pocket the difference. My rent is $2,700 a month. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, and it's about 900 square feet. So for me personally, I do value traveling, spending time with friends, as well as food. So I am willing to splurge a little bit on those sort of activities.
So Lou, where'd you learn about money and saving?
Probably a lot of Wall Street bets. Have you heard of that? I usually wake up at 5:30 for work, and usually work goes between 7 till 3 or 4. And I see about 20 patients or so, depending on what I'm doing for the day. I'd say about half of my time is spent doing dentistry, anything from oral surgery, root canals, crowns, basic fillings. And then the other time is allocated more towards leadership, as well as peer-to-peer mentoring. There's more and more women in dentistry overall, so I think we see a good representation of that in the Navy itself. I've never felt out of place. I've always felt welcomed. I would highly recommend it to anyone who's interested in financing their education without going into debt by the time they graduate. I think about $1,600 automatically is deducted and goes into my TSP, which is the military's thrift savings plan, kind of similar to a 401k. Right now, my time is starting to become more valuable than my money is. For example, I don't own a TV, not because I can't afford one, but because I feel like the time I probably spent watching that TV, it could be better allocated to something that would enrich my life far more. My investment strategy is pretty simple. It's just to buy and hold for right now. I'm kind of going in with the long-term investment in mind, so I'm not selling off stocks right now. I don't live a very extravagant lifestyle, so I'm able to put away quite a bit without feeling like I'm depriving myself. FIRE stands for Financially Independent, Retire Early. Ideally, I would like to retire at age 42. By then, I would have served 20 years in the military, and I'll be able to receive a full pension package at that time. And I think the end goal would be to be able to support myself financially if I wanted to retire early. For me, the emphasis is more on the financial independence aspect and not necessarily the retiring early. Going back to that story where I used to walk to school, I feel strange telling that story since so many years have elapsed since I was that person, but there's like kind of one constant thing. It's kind of the lasting gift of poverty. It's that sense of urgency, that need to overcome whatever obstacle may be in the way, because the alternative is, I wouldn't quite call it living, it's kind of just existing, just that kind of life where you're more or less at the mercy of factors outside of your control. There's a tendency, the more we make, the more we spend. I hope that regardless of what I end up making, that I will contribute roughly the same percentages of what I'm doing right now towards my savings and investments. As we earn more money, it's easier and easier to spend it on bigger, better, shinier things, but I don't want to end up losing my sense of appreciation for what I already have.